What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. So this is a new show alert, but it's not really a new show. It's more of a continuation of a show alert. So this is 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to review this or not because I just wasn't sure. But I decided I'm going to go ahead and review it. So this is 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. Now, some of the couples on the show are the same couples. My lighting is a little off today. Some of the couples on the show are the same couples from 90 Day Fiancé, the season we just watched. And some of them are from, I guess, previous seasons. So some of these couples I'm more familiar with than others. But what I appreciate is that 90 Day Fiancé gave us a little synopsis of each couple so you could kind of bring yourself up to date. So let's go through it. We have Angela and Michael. Now, Angela is a white woman from Georgia. She's in her 50s, heavyset woman, right? All of that's relevant, okay? I'm not saying that it's relevant to the story. Michael is living in Nigeria, obviously an African, living in Nigeria. Younger guy. Now, here's the deal with Michael and Angela. Their love story, they met, I believe they met online. Don't quote me on that, but well, most of these couples I think met online or whatever. Anyway, he was trying to get the K1 visa. He got denied the visa, so she ended up going over to Nigeria, and they got married in Nigeria. And now she's applying for a spouse visa for him to come over because now they are legally married. But of course, because of COVID, the paperwork is just going. I don't even think if it's. I won't even say it's moving at a snail's pace. I think it has just stopped. So they're just waiting for that. Now, in the meantime, a couple of things. One, he wants a baby. Angela is like a 5-time grandma. Now, that is not to say it cannot happen. It is not to say it is impossible. But let's be clear. You married a 50-year-old woman and with the expectation, knowing you wanted children, the likelihood that y'all would be able to have a natural child situation is slim. I ain't gonna say none because anything can happen. Science is science. God is always gonna win. So I can't say never. I'm gonna say slim. Now Angela has decided that she said, I've always been a big girl, but lately it has just been a little bit out of control. I just can't, and I am gonna have a sleeve put on. I'm gonna have weight loss surgery. She's flying out to California and she's gonna have the weight loss surgery. Now here's the problem. Because myself, I've thought about these things as well. If I'm gonna be very perfectly candid, I have thought about these things. Now, one thing is that she has to stop. One thing is that she has to stop smoking. She said, I've been smoking for 40 years. Child, she smoked a cigarette when she got off the plane in California. It is hard. Okay, it's hard like anything else. The other thing is her grandkids said, listen, me mom ain't gonna stop eating. Like, she like her snacks too much. She like her cakes. She like her cookies. She like all her sweets, and she ain't gonna stop. Now, one thing that they will tell you as it relates to, any of these weight loss surgeries, you've got to be ready to change your eating habits. You have to be because, we've seen it happen. I don't need to go down that road. So, anyway, so we have that going on. And we see her actually, by the end of the episode, she's actually in LA doing her pre-op stuff, getting ready for the actual surgery. Starting to get a little nervous, starting to maybe have some second thoughts, but I think that's normal and natural, for stuff like that. Now, Michael, on the other hand, is in Nigeria, and he is not feeling it. He does not want her to have the weight loss surgery. He likes her just the way she is. And then he was even like, and you're taking the easy way out. Like, you need to, if you want to lose the weight, you got to work at it. And I'm going to be honest with you, I felt that way at one time, too. I had friends who were getting weight loss surgery, and I was like, I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna do it. I don't want to do it the easy way. And it was kind of like I caught myself when I said it. I was like, the easy way, But I do think that's people's mindset, especially people who don't deal with weight issues and don't understand the up and down, and that before you get to, for most people, not everybody, but for most people, before you get to that drastic step, you probably have tried everything. You've tried every diet. You done had 20 gym memberships. You done been in a walking club. You done been in an accountability club. You done counted calories. You done tried to go vegan. Like, you've done all of, you done had intermittent fasting. Like, everything that is out there, you literally have tried before you decide that you were going to go under the knife. You know what I mean? Most people. So, I do think that's a lot of people's mindset that, oh, I'm just going to go, that's the easy way. The other thing is, and this was the part that got me, I guess it's his sister or his cousin, had a whole lot to say about Angela's decision to have this weight loss surgery, talking about how selfish she's being, and she knows that she's going to probably have to have some sort of surgery or something as it relates to having a baby because she's older, and why would she have this kind of surgery, that knowing that you want to have a child when you get there, and she needs to be getting herself ready for having a baby and all. And I was like, man, that's not even your business. Like, Michael being upset about it, he has every right to have an opinion. That's his wife. He has a right to an opinion about her having surgery. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. But ma'am, you don't have no opinion. Your opinion doesn't matter. Was not asked for, nor was it needed. Don't nobody care what you think. Don't nobody care how you feel. And she was adamant. I mean, she had an attitude about it. Ma'am, it's not your business. It's not your business. So that's Angela and Michael Child. So then we have Jovi and Jovi and Yara. I don't really have a lot I don't think they showed us a lot with Jovi. They gave us their love story, but they didn't really give us a lot of where they are right now in this episode. But they're going to be on this season. So we have Jovi and we have Yara. And maybe because I'm familiar with them because they were on, I just got finished reviewing them. But, you know, they have a baby now. You know, they're living... You know, they're dealing with adjusting to the fact that she literally came over her 90-day visa, and they had, you know, she got pregnant, they had a baby, COVID. Like, that is really their biggest thing right now. So we'll come back to them, because I don't think they gave us a whole lot about Jovi and Yara, and if they did, I don't remember it. I didn't write no notes down for it, so I'm sorry if I missed it. I'll catch it up next time. I'm sorry. Julia and Brandon. Now, Julia and Brandon... They got married on the last season of 90 Day Fiancé. Julia, they're the couple that live on the farm. And we found out at the reunion that Julia was making a big deal about living on the farm. Like, they were making her, treat her like, you know, like unpaid help. Had her working on this farm. But come to find out, she was voluntarily doing it because she was doing Brandon's chores so that they would have more time to spend together. So we catch up with them. They still living on that farm, honey. But we find out that Brandon has gotten a new job. He has a new job. He's gotten a raise. And they have a little bit of time before he starts his new job, from the time he left his old job to start his new job. And so they've decided they're going to go to Las Vegas for a couple of days. Sort of like a honeymoon. They never had a honeymoon because of COVID and everything. And so sort of they're ready to go. Now, Julia's plan is to get to Vegas and never come back. She doesn't want to. She wants to live in a big city. She doesn't want to live, because they live in the outskirts of Virginia. Like, they live in Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie is, I'm not sure the exact, but it's close. The biggest city is close to, I would say, it's probably between Richmond and Virginia Beach. They're probably closer to Richmond, but they're not that far from Virginia Beach either. So I'm saying, like, if you want to move to a big city, or a bigger city than where y'all living, just go to Richmond. Brandy can probably still get back and forth to work reasonably, and you in a reasonably big city. Like, Richmond is a pretty big city. I mean, it's not like New York or DC, but it's a decent, you know, city. Anyway, I mean, when you're talking about wanting to get out of the country, of course, the parents are not here for it. They think that this is all Julia's idea. How dare Brandon want to go to Las Vegas? And I'm thinking, what is the big deal? If they have a few extra dollars, which, you know, they probably got their little check from last season of 90 Day Fiancé, that he has a little bit of time because he's starting a new job, got a promotion, doing better, moving on up. What is the big deal with them going to Vegas for a couple of days? Like, they doing the most. Like, they really doing too much. They get to Vegas, and of course, Julia is on a mission to convince Brandon that they should just live in Vegas. And Brandon is like, girl, no. Like, that was never the plan. Like, we are here on vacation. This isn't the real Las Vegas. This is the Strip. This is, like, tourist. This ain't the real. He was like, and what I do, which I didn't realize he had to have a license to do what he does, but I guess because he deals with certain types of chemicals and stuff, he was like, I would have to get a whole new license. Like, I can't just move here. Like, I need a license and everything to get here. Like, there's a lot that would go into me moving to Las Vegas. Like, anyway, so there's that, child. There's that. Um, Tiffany and Ronald. I don't think we got a lot on Tiffany and Ronald this episode either. And if we did, again, I'll catch us up next time. Because they're not sticking out to me. They're not sticking out to me. So I'll come back to Tiffany and Ronald because maybe I forgot. Mike and Natalie. Again, we just got a whole bunch of Mike and Natalie from 90 Day Fiancé. And unfortunately, a lot of information has already leaked about what's going on with Mike and Natalie. But we're going to pretend like we don't know, okay? So right now, they are married. We know he had the whole calling off the wedding on the day of the wedding. And he told them he wasn't talking about it. And they were trying to ask him about it. He said, I ain't talking about that no more. And you know what? I don't blame you, Mike. You talked about it once on the season. You talked about it at the reunion. This is a new show. This is a new situation. Ain't no need to keep going there. As we know what happened. You ended up getting married. Let's move forward. I'm with you on this one, Mike. And they're in Seattle. It looks like Mike is maybe staying in Seattle to work. Maybe because of COVID or whatever. So they were in Seattle, and they seem to be in a decent place. But it looked like from the previews for next week, it's not going to last long. But it looks like they're in a decent spot right now. They're kind of happy and happy-ish for Mike and Natalie. They are happy-ish. Alani and Aslu. Now, I remember a little bit about them. I didn't watch the season of their 90 Day, because I think their 90 Day Fiancé I didn't watch, but I heard their story because something about the sister was trying to fight Alani, and they wanted him, she said that they made the mistake of his family came to visit and they thought she was rich, and now they wanted him to send money home and, had these expectations of her. So, the one thing I will say about Aslu, it seems like he's a big kid. Every time they showed him, it was all jokes all the time. I didn't see him being serious at all about anything. They were looking at houses. Right now, they're living with her family, and the sister is moving in, and the sister don't like Aslu. Aslu don't like the sister, and so it's about to be a whole problem, I see, with all them moving in together, okay? It's about to be a whole situation. We'll see how that work out. Child, he is driving for Uber, and you can't tell him he ain't doing a damn thing. He said, listen, I'm full-time share riding, and I'm living a good life, okay? But they were looking at a house that's like $300,000. Listen, I ain't knocking nobody's hustle, and if you can afford it, go for it. But, baby, $300,000, that's a lot. That's a lot. Anyway, last but not least, we have Elizabeth and Andre. Now, listen, I wish that I had watched this season with Elizabeth and Andre, because their story sounds very interesting. They met up, they was dating and they was in love, whatever, and they got married, but then they wanted to have like a traditional ceremony in his country, so they went over to his country. Her family traveled over there. Baby, they found out that he got ran out of the country. He was working for the police force and ended up having to quit the police force, and he ended up getting run out the country. And so her family is not feeling it because they feel like he's a liar. They feel like he's deceitful, and he got a lot of secrets, baby. They are not feeling it. Baby, the brother done called him out at the wedding. So the Andre and the brother still are not speaking. Now, Andre has gotten his real estate license, right? He was a stay-at-home dad, but he done got him a real estate license now, and he thinks, like a lot of people, that he has to go from 0 to 100. He decides now that he wants to flip houses. He wants to own his own company and flip houses, and he feels like Elizabeth's dad should give him the loan to get started. Now, what we found out is that Elizabeth's dad it's a family company. He owns the company, but like all the brothers and sisters work for him. And it's a realtor company. They flip houses, they sell houses and all of that. Now, Elizabeth's sister then already called Andre out and said, you only passed your license exam because I let you cheat off of me. Let's be clear. And it seemed like the family really ain't feeling Andre. I feel like the family tolerates him. But the brother, he said he ain't even spoken to the brother since the wedding. But the sister seemed like she had some issues with him too, but she was friendly with him. But she seemed like she wasn't all that happy with him either. Now, he tells them about his bright idea about asking for a loan, and the sister was like, no, hell no. Like, you, like, what are you talking about? You going, and he talking about some $100,000. She was like, you're gonna go to my dad and ask for a loan for $100,000 because you literally just got your life, your broke your realtor's license last week, and you want to flip houses. He was like, yeah, I mean, excuse me. He was like, $100,000 should be enough for me, to get started. You think $100,000? I said, you just gonna roll up on this girl's daddy and be like, can I get $100,000? So he takes the father out, and the father was like, so you wanted me, what's up? You wanted to ask me something? Now, I feel like the father kind of already knew what was up. I feel like the sister had already hit into the plan, but he was like, I'm gonna let him make his pitch. So Andre makes his pitch, and he's acting like it's not a big deal. Like, yeah, I just figure you give me like $100,000 for a loan. The daddy was like, so you want me to give you $100,000 loan to compete with me? Because that's basically what you're telling me. You want to start a company that does exactly what I do. Now, let's be clear. I'm not nervous. I'm not worried about you putting me out of business. But you literally want me to give you a loan to start a business doing what I do. Okay. He said, listen, I have offered you a job in the past. And then they flash back to him offering Andre a job, and Andre like, hell no, I ain't working for you. He said, so I am willing to allow you to work for me, learn the ropes, learn how to do this, learn the business, work your way up. Then we can talk about a loan, because then I'll feel comfortable that you'll be able to pay me back. But I'm not just going to give you no $100,000 on a whim for you to go out here and do what? Baby Andre wasn't trying to hear it, but he agreed to it, but you could tell he wasn't happy. Now, these are our players for this season. You know how the show goes. They alternate couples. So next week they may focus on different couples or whatever. And so we may get more of Jovi and Yara and more of Tiffany and Ronald next week. But those are the main couples they focused on this week. So y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all, we're gonna ride it. We're gonna see what happens, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.